Right, some big boxing news for you right now. David Haye's hopes of becoming world heavyweight champion before the end of the year have taken a knock this morning, having pulled out of a proposed showdown on June the 20th with Wladmir Klitschko due to a back injury. Haye's hopes of a rearrangement of the bout have been KO'd this morning with the news that Klitschko will now fight Ruslan Chagaev instead. Let's get more on that news. We can now speak to Klitschko's manager, Bernd Boente of K2 Promotions. Bernd, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, it's going to be Vlad versus Ruslan Chagaev. You hinted on Thursday during the boxing hour that that could and was a likely possibility. You've confirmed it today. Why did you decide to go down that route?
That was the safer route because we had no idea how long David really needs to recover from his back injury. And yesterday we heard that it would have been even longer. The recovery means end of July. And that means that the fight could not have promoted before September because of the summer vacation in Europe, and no TV station wants to cover a fight in July or August. So we made the right decision and fought or will fight Ruslan Chagaev, the WBA champion, a top fighter who is unbeaten. I think that's a great fight.
I'm sure you, like everybody else, but if David Haye and Wladmir are to get it on, everybody wants to see them both at 100%. There's no point in taking the fight if one of the two is carrying an injury. Do you hold out any hope of a David Haye-Wladmir Klitschko fight in the future?
No, absolutely. I think we should, as soon as possible, work on a fight Klitschko, either Vitali or Wladimir against David in probably September, and I think Adam Booth and I will talk as soon as possible and then try to make everything possible to give the fans a huge fight.
So September, a possibility then for David to meet Wladimir or Vitali. In terms of fans who've bought tickets for this one then, Bernd, what happens to those tickets? Are they valid for the fight now on June the 20th, or will UK fans, David Haye's fans, be able to get refunds looking ahead to September?
No, what I heard is that English fans already gave back their tickets because they knew it won't be June the 20th and were not so sure. But it's no problem. Most of the fans in Germany, as you can imagine, kept their tickets, but English fans can definitely give the ticket back.
What have you sort of heard from German fans, Bert? Are Wladimir's fans happy with this fight? 65,000 tickets sold. I imagine it was the chemistry of David Haye and Vlad that sold the fight. Do you think 65,000 people will be happy to see Vlad take on Ruslan Chagaev?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is lucky destiny because Ruslan Chagaev is definitely the more experienced and better fighter. He's in the independent rankings. In all independent rankings, number 3 behind Wladimir and Vitali. And this is even for the famous The Ring Magazine Championship. They told us yesterday this is for the vacant title. So it's a real big, huge fight.
Indeed, I imagine as much as fans in this country will be disappointed for David Haye, they'll enjoy watching Vlad and Ruslan get it on. I just wonder, we were due to see a fight last week, Ruslan Chagaev against Nikolai Valiev. That fight fell the distance because Ruslan failed a medical talk about the possibility of hepatitis involved. Could that affect this fight on June 20th?
No, not at all. Ruslan Chagaev had many fights in Europe, especially in Germany. He has only an antigen, and there is absolutely zero chance that Wladimir could be infected. That's what all the top doctors, even of the most reputable hospital in Germany, said. Yesterday, an expert there said, who is handling these, especially these hepatitis cases, he said the chance to get infected by Ruslan Chagaev is as high as walking out of the door and the sky falls on your head. So forget it.
And in terms of the fight itself, Bert, are you confident? Would you fancy Vlad to beat Chagaev?
It's a very tough fight. Sure, we are confident. We're always confident that Wladimir or Vitali win their fights. It's a very tough fight, especially Wladimir has to change the sparring partners because Chagaev is a southpaw. But he's very confident that he will also beat this guy. And he said, as a world champion, even on short notice, I have to accept opponents if they taller, smaller, southpaw, orthodox, and I will show the world that I'm a real world champion.
Indeed, and as for Vlad, we're just looking at pictures of him training. He looks in great shape. I presume he is in fantastic shape if he wants to fight on June 20th. He's ready to go, is he?
He is ready to go, absolutely.
Bernd, I appreciate your time this morning. Thank you for filling us in. Hopefully we shall speak to you over the coming weeks with a view to perhaps a September date, David Haye against either of the Klitschkos. Thank you very much. We will do everything possible to also please the English fans and have that fight, Klitschko versus David Haye, as soon as possible. Bernd, you're a gentleman. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.